So this is my friend Shane Bennett, and nice to see you again, Shane. How long have we known each other?
A long time.
And, we did a lot together. I remember you helped us organize an alpha that we did with we teamed up with an Episcopal church down there, and we had a lot of people in that alpha.
That was fun, yeah.
That went really well. I always knew that if we did something together, it would be very well organized because of your part of it. So did you grow up in Indiana?
Yeah. The middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Totally rural, yeah.
Okay, northern or southern Indiana?
East Central.
Okay. And what kind of church did you grow up in, by the way?
United Methodist.
Oh.
But a good one.
A more conservative one?
Methodists rotate their pastors
okay.
every 2 to 4 years, something like that. This guy came in when I was 12, just starting junior high, and stayed there through when I graduated from high school. And we got him when he was young and rough and figuring stuff out. And
yeah,
it was an amazing gift.
Yeah. It's like you had him during his rookie contract when he was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I happened to connect with InterVarsity Christian Fellowship as my campus group. The staff who was running it, he was a very missions oriented guy. He went on from our school in rural Indiana to working in Gabon, West Africa.
Oh.
So, the books that we studied, the conferences we went to, it was missions kind of stuff. Summer after I graduated, I spent it in Jordan. So I had met one Muslim my entire life up to then. And so I spent the summer hanging out with Muslims in the Middle East. And Jordan is chock full of Palestinian refugees. So hanging out with people who had a different view on Israel than what I'd grown up with in church, hanging out with Muslims who were really nice and gave me yummy food. And it really undid a lot of preconceptions that I had. And it established a whole new set of prejudices that I had to work through and knock off the edges and deal with.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I just came back with a fairly anti-Israel, sophomoric and uninformed anti-Israel kind of mentality, which, it was honest. I'm talking to people whose parents had gotten run off their land and they're living in little cinder block, not cells, but not nice houses because of that. I remember a guy, I was hanging out late at night, just kind of hanging out on the street with people. And this guy started chatting with me and he said, so I asked where he's from. He's from America. And he said, so America, 50 states, right? And Israel is 51. And we were just laughing. And I didn't have much context at that point in my life. But this was a whole different viewpoint.
It's funny how people who haven't had that experience, who maybe been exposed to the one side, a very pro-Israel side, Israel as the modern nation, have a tendency to view Muslims as the enemy. And if we wipe out a few Muslims in order to bolster the modern state of Israel, then that's okay. And how it seems to be, how contrary that is to the gospel and to the idea of reaching people. And to me, it almost seems like a modern version of the Crusades.
When you start off, you don't know that you're just thinking what you're thinking, and you don't know how it relates to other stuff. So some of the, hey, ding dong, this is an issue, came from my dad. And as we interacted, and I told him stories and probably said silly stuff about the situation,
about how bad Israel is.
Yeah, he spoke a little bit of balance into that, and not so much saying, "Here's the counterpoint," which is, I believe this, and so you're wrong, but just like, hey, be a little bit careful about just playing one note on the piano.
Yeah. The creation of the nation of Israel post-Holocaust just seems like give these people a safe place, and it's a captivating story. And yet, how you just described how it displaced a lot of people, and it's like, well, you don't matter. It's like, well, the Germans did this to them, so therefore we're going to do something to you, but it's not as bad as what happened to
Yeah,
us.
right.
It's just talk about a complicated situation.
Luke portrays this Jesus who is set in the context of Judaism, but the things that he does, the kingdom that he's bringing, it involves whoever wants to be a part of it. And I really like that. I like that emphasis on that effort to remind followers of Jesus that God is particularly concerned for people at the margins and for people who we would tend to overlook. And Luke shows this in a variety of ways. The people he talks about, the people he lifts up to be key parts of stories. I like that a lot. And one of the ways that we see that, Jesus picks a pious young Jewish girl, but a young girl to be the one who gives birth to the Messiah. And then Luke records this song that she does, which is so cool. I'll read it. In verse 46, Luke says, "And Mary said," and then starts her poem, her song, "My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God, my Savior, for he has looked on the humble estate of his servant. For behold, from now on, all generations will call me blessed. For he who is mighty has done great things for me, and holy is his name, and his mercy is for those who fear him from generation to generation." So, she's grateful and thankful for she got picked to be the one to show the Messiah. But then her song takes this slight turn. In verse 51, "He has shown strength with his arm. He has scattered the proud in the thoughts of their hearts. He has brought down the mighty from their thrones and exalted those of humble estate. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent away empty." And I love that because it's really a subversive song of God is going to take the rich off their thrones. He's going to give food to the hungry. He's going to lift up those who have been downtrodden. I just love that.